In the heart of post-war Los Angeles, a city of dreams and broken promises, lies one of the most chilling and enduring mysteries in American crime history. It's a case drenched in darkness, whispered in hushed tones, and still unsolved to this very day. The name alone sends shivers down the spine: the Black Dahlia. This is the haunting story of Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress whose brutal end transformed her from a hopeful starlet into the symbol of one of the most baffling murders of the 20th century. Who was Elizabeth Short? Elizabeth Short was born in Boston in 1924, but her restless spirit carried her west in search of a brighter future. With her striking beauty, jet black hair, and piercing blue eyes, she turned heads wherever she went. Friends described her as charming, mysterious, and often secretive about her personal life. Yet beneath the glamour of her Hollywood dreams was a woman struggling to find stability. She drifted between cities, lived in cheap apartments, and often relied on the generosity of friends and acquaintances. To those who knew her, she was a dreamer. To history, she became something far more tragic. The gruesome discovery. On the cold morning of January 15th, 1947, Los Angeles awoke to horror. A young mother pushing her baby stroller stumbled upon what she thought was a discarded mannequin in a vacant lot on Norton Avenue. But what she had found was no mannequin. It was the lifeless body of Elizabeth Short. Her remains were posed in a grotesque fashion. The body had been cut cleanly in half at the waist, drained of blood, and meticulously scrubbed. Deep, precise cuts extended from the corners of her mouth, etching a permanent ghastly smile onto her face. This was no ordinary crime. It was a message. The brutality was surgical, methodical, almost ritualistic. Whoever committed this crime wanted the world to look and never forget. The frenzy that followed news of the Black Dahlia murder exploded across newspapers. Reporters swarmed the crime scene, sensationalizing every detail, and the public was both horrified and captivated. Elizabeth Short was transformed overnight into a macabre celebrity. The Los Angeles Police Department launched one of the largest investigations in its history. More than 150 suspects were questioned. Rumors spread like wildfire, claims of lovers, jealous rivals, and sinister underworld connections. But despite the media circus, no solid leads emerged. The case became more about headlines than answers. The prime suspects. Over the decades, several names have risen to the top of the suspect list. One was Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner whose home Elizabeth sometimes stayed in. He had connections, money, and a reputation for controlling young women. Another was George Hodel, a wealthy and eccentric physician with a disturbing past. His medical expertise fit the surgical precision seen in the crime. His own son later accused him of the murder, citing hidden evidence and disturbing family secrets. Then there was Leslie Dillon, a bellhop whose obsession with crime stories and inconsistent confessions placed him under scrutiny. Yet, despite mountains of suspicion, none of these men, or the dozens of others investigated, were ever charged. Why the case remains unsolved. Despite hundreds of tips and decades of speculation, the Black Dahlia case remains officially unsolved. Part of the reason lies in the mishandling of evidence. Crime scenes were contaminated, files went missing, and media pressure created chaos within the investigation. Over the years, self-proclaimed experts and amateur sleuths have presented their own theories, but none have led to definitive answers. The case lives on not in police files, but in whispered legends, crime books, and Hollywood dramatizations. The legacy of the Black Dahlia today. Elizabeth Short is remembered not only as a victim, but as an enduring mystery. Her story has inspired countless films, novels, and documentaries. Yet behind the sensationalism lies the tragic truth. A young woman's life cut short in the most horrific way imaginable. The name Black Dahlia has become legend, but Elizabeth Short was more than just a headline. She was a daughter, a dreamer, a human being whose voice was silenced. 75 years later, the Black Dahlia case still casts its shadow over Los Angeles. Was it a lover's betrayal, a doctor's twisted experiment, or something more sinister hidden within the city's underbelly? Perhaps we'll never know the full truth. But one thing is certain: the mystery of the Black Dahlia will continue to haunt the world for generations to come. What do you think happened to Elizabeth Short? Could the killer still be hidden in plain sight, their identity lost to history? Share your theories in the comments below, because sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.